Hi there, it's Gwen with the Montana FFA Foundation. In this video, I'm going to show you how to fill out an online application on the Montana FFA website. So if you are a Montana FFA member, there's actually a variety of scholarships, grants, and conferences available to you through our foundation. So this is going to be pretty important for students to be able to know how to fill out these online applications, and this also applies to FFA advisors since some applications are also available to teachers. Now to get started, we're just going to open up a new browser and type in the home page, which is montanaffa.org. We're going to locate this home ribbon right here. And even though we are the foundation, we house all of our applications underneath the association tab just so all of the applications are in one spot. You're going to click on this applications link and it'll take you to our applications webpage. There's a variety of sections in our applications webpage, starting out with the state officer candidate materials that the association has. And then our conferences are listed here, including the Ag Tour and Gold Conference. If you keep scrolling down, we have our grant applications here, including Bowls for Blue, our Helping Hands application, which are service grants, SAE grants for students, and then student teacher stipends for our future agricultural educators. We also have scholarships available, which are leadership scholarships as well as traditional college scholarships. Today I'm going to focus on the Bowls for Blue grant application. For any of these applications, we'll have a rubric and grant guidelines. So I'm going to click on this rubric. I would recommend looking at this before you go and fill out an application, just so you can see how the applications are being scored. Right here in the overview of scoring on the first page just shows you how much each section is worth. We have the SAE description, and it's worth 5 points, and you can keep going through all of these sections and it shows you how many points are possible. Then once you have an idea of how it's scored, you can scroll down here. You can find a more detailed breakdown of what is being asked of you in the application. In this blue section, you'll see how many points are available for each of these different sections in your application and then what is being asked. So this is actually verbatim what is going to be in the application online, so you can already take a look at what's going to be asked of you and then how it's being scored. And it has all of the different sections for your application listed here. So I'm going to go back here and I'm also going to click on the grant guidelines, and this is basically going to tell you what the purpose of the grant or the scholarship is, who can apply. So for this Bowls for Blue grant, it's basically an SAE grant for students wanting to start a beef project, and any active FFA member can apply, and it's due June 1st. You should receive award notification no later than July 1st, and that also tells us what we expect of the recipients. So in this situation, the students just have to send in a summary once they're done with the grant cycle, and advisors also have to submit a reference form. If you want to save these, you can always just click the download button and then save that to wherever you want to keep it. I'm actually going to work from this Bowls for Blue grant application today, and let's go ahead and click on this application. Here's what all of our applications are going to look like. It's going to have our logo at the top, and then the actual application is going to be down here. You can see this application right now is sort of narrow, and we can read all of the words, but I actually have a wide monitor, so my browser can be a little bit wider. Most people with their monitors, they're probably going to have something that looks like this. And as you can see, some of the words are cut off. And you can scroll back and forth in here to read these. But what I found to be helpful in trying to read the applications is to actually make your browser narrower so that it automatically widens, the text portion widens so that you can read it. It has all the different questions here that we saw in the rubric. But the first thing that you're going to want to read is this application tip. We have this on all of our applications, and this is just our disclaimer to tell you that this application actually does not save. What you will need to do is copy and paste all of the essay questions into a Microsoft Word document, and that way you can work on your essays whenever you have time, and you can adjust them and save them. And then once you're ready, once all of your essays are completed so the way you want them, then you can copy and paste them back into the text boxes on this application. For example, I'm going to scroll down to this first question about the beef SAE description. And if you want to save this description of what is being asked, you can go ahead and do that and press copy. And then you're going to open up a Microsoft Word document and you could go ahead and paste it there if you wanted to. But actually I'm not going to do that since I already have my essay questions done. I can start filling out this application. You'll notice that all of these different sections or fields within the application have red asterisks, and that just means that all these are required, so you cannot submit your application until you've filled out all of these sections. My application just automatically puts my information in there, and I'm just going to type in my school and then also who our advisor is. Now I'm ready to start copying and pasting all of my essays into these fields within the application. So I'm going to go over here to my Microsoft Word document where I've been saving everything. I'm just going to slowly start copying and pasting these all over into the application. These are obviously just placeholders for what would be the essays for students. Of course, if you want to have a more competitive application, these would be a lot more in-depth and detailed. And once we get to the bottom here, I'm almost to the end, the submit button is actually at the bottom of this application. So I'm going to put in my final essay, and then I'll click submit. I forgot to put something in that was a required question, so I need to go back up there and say what year in high school I'll be in the fall. So since I'm a freshman applying for this, I'll be a sophomore in the fall, so I'll click sophomore. Then it should be done now. I can look back through to make sure I've done everything. And then I'm going to click submit again. And it will take me to this submission confirmation web page. If you don't see this on your web browser, then I would give us a call at the foundation or send us an email just to make sure that your application did in fact go through. And you'll know for sure if it was not received if you don't get an email confirmation either. So I'm going to show you what that confirmation is going to look like. I'm going to expand this a little bit more right now since we're done with that application. And here my email should have a Bowls for Blue grant application that came up, and it in fact did. So this is just an automated email that you'll receive from us, and it will list any additional information that you'll need. So right now basically all it says is you should hear from us no later than July 1st if you've received the grant or not. And there's contact information in the meantime if you have any questions. If this were a college scholarship application, as an example, there would actually be more information in here about follow-up information required. So in addition to that application, students also need to submit a copy of their transcript and also have their advisor and a community member fill out the online reference form. And if we don't receive any of those additional materials, then we're going to send you a reminder just to make sure that you know to send those in. Let's go ahead and just recap all of these steps very quickly. So the first thing to do is to go to our homepage and click on the Applications tab. And if you don't want to do that, you can just type in montanaffa.org/applications, and that'll take you to our Applications homepage. And in this example, we went and did the Bowls for Blue grant application. So for any application, there should be the link, and then there will also be a rubric and grant guidelines. Then make sure if you can't read all the text on your browser, grab the outside edge of your browser and start dragging it inward so it becomes narrow, and that way the application itself, the text will pop wide open and you can read the whole thing instead of having to scroll back and forth when you're reading it. Then remember that these applications do not save, and they actually time out if you take too long to fill them out. So you will want to copy and paste all of those essay questions into a Microsoft Word document or some sort of word processor so you can work on them, edit, and then save them. Then finally, when you're ready, go ahead and copy and paste them back into this application before you submit it. Here's what that submission confirmation is going to look like in your browser. And then you'll also see a email notification as well that you did apply for the grant and we did receive it. We try to keep these as up to date as we can on the FFA website, but we also post reminders on our Facebook page as well as the Montana Agricultural Education Network Google site, so be sure to stay tuned in on the magnet and like us on the Facebook page to receive more information. But that's all I have for applications, so good luck applying.